Hello everybody, Anders here with another Throne and Liberty video. Today we're going to go over some beginner advice that I found to be useful over my time with early access. The game's leveling process is more of an extended tutorial. You'll learn the basics of gear progression, the different forms of content in the game, and in general should take you about 5 to 6 hours, at most 9 if you really take your time. Two main things I want to suggest as you level for the first time is to first save your contract rights. These are going to be your daily quests. The main story will give you a mission that needs you to take 4 of these contracts and complete them, but after that you want to save them. Each day you're going to regenerate some contract rights, and as you level you will be additionally rewarded with more. At level 50 you should have about 60 or so of these contracts. The reason these are important is because they scale according to the zone you're in. So a contract you take in a level 50 area will give you better rewards than a level 20 area. When you reach level 50 and start running all of these contracts you saved up, you also want to prioritize some rewards over others. You will be given a choice of 6 quests that you can do. They tell you what the quest is and where you need to go. Usually each contract NPC at level 50 will offer 2 different areas for quests. This is important because you kind of want to make a choice of a contract quest that's going to be easy to complete, or a contract quest that will ask you to target a specific monster or group of monsters of which you need to grind anyway. In level 50 areas, monsters have a very small chance to drop epic gear that is not necessarily best in slot for whichever class you play, but 1 or 2 pieces can be useful, and it is more efficient to focus on choosing quests to clear monsters you already wanted to clear for chances for those epic loot drops. You will also want to take into consideration which rewards to prioritize. You're going to have a bunch of items. One of these is a lucky pouch. No matter the quest, no matter the location, you always take the lucky pouch reward quest whenever you see it. This is an RNG reward box that has a chance to give you epic gear, and even when you don't get those items, the more common rewards are still very good. To maximize your chances of getting these lucky pouch reward contracts, you always want to take 1 contract and then refresh before choosing the next. This will give you the best chance of seeing lucky pouch contracts. Aside from the lucky pouch, focusing on the red crystals are a good idea since we need a lot of them to level our epic weapon to +9s. Those are used to make weapon growth stones. If you don't see those, the yellow armor ones are a decent choice as well. Parchment is also okay. I would say those 4 are what you should really go for, but don't worry too much about it. Over time you will get enough materials for leveling your gear and leveling your skills. You also want to save your contract coins, which are part of the rewards for completing any of these daily missions. They are guaranteed. These coins can be used to buy several items, but more importantly for you as a beginner, you want to save up 1500 contract coins to buy your weapon selection box. This box allows you to select your first epic weapon for your build. These will not be best in slot, but they give you enough power to make content easier on yourself. Epic gear you get from the weapon selection box and even the epic armor piece from finishing the main story are useful to level up. They're not going to be your best in slot items, but you still want to love them as much as you can, because not only do you get the stat benefit, but when you do eventually get the epic item you need for that gear slot, you can simply transfer the enhancement level to that item with no drawbacks. Next, I want to talk about running dungeons as you unlock them through the story. You'll have 3 sub-level 50 dungeons that you can do as you level, and it is even recommended by the game as one of the pieces of content that you can do to reach the next main story level requirement, but I would recommend waiting till you're level 50 to run any dungeons. The reason for this is because opening chests will cost some dimensional contract tokens, which are given to you every day and are used to open the reward chest at the end of your dungeon runs. At level 50, you're going to need 300 of these tokens per clear, so you want to save your tokens for those level 50 dungeons. Every day at level 50 you get 900 of these tokens on refresh, meaning you can do dungeons and get rewards from them 3 times per day max, or you can save them for a total of a week and then run them all at once on the same day if you want. Regardless of what you choose, you can still run dungeons and help friends without opening the reward chest if you're just there to help out. On a similar note, Abyssal contract tokens are used in open world dungeons so you can get loot and Solent. These tokens are given to you as you level, but also are a guaranteed reward from your daily contracts. You want to save these as much as you can unless you need a specific blue piece from whichever dungeon you're looking to grind. For example, I wanted to farm the blue head piece and blue pants for my build, so I went to Ant's Nest, where some of the monsters here drop these items. Every time I clear monsters, I consume Abyssal tokens and I get items for it. It's similar to the Agri system in Black Desert Online. These places are usually very good for making Solent, want, and it encourages you to party up with people as you all benefit and share in the rewards. You can, however, solo grind here if you want, or if you're playing at off-peak hours and there's not a lot of people here. You will want to run other open world dungeons as they open because they offer more exploration codex rewards, which are always good to do, like a 3-piece blue accessory set that can be pretty useful depending on your build. But keep in mind, whenever it becomes night in these open world dungeons, they become PvP zones, so you need to be careful if you're not ready for PvP. You'll notice as you level up, you will see quests that will ask you to craft yourself gear, first a weapon, then an armor piece. This is kind of important because you want to craft items that benefit you longer term. These green pieces that you craft early on can be used till you hit level 50, and even then you won't replace all of them as the story only gives you a limited amount of blue gear. Which armor pieces and accessories and weapons you need to craft or select from the main story will depend on your class or build. Spellblade, for example, which is the staff dagger combination name, I focused on crafting pieces that had accuracy, or as the game calls it, hit chance. You need a certain amount to consistently hit your target, and as you level you want to make sure that you're not missing damage and taking longer than needed to progress. That's why it's always recommended, especially if you're a DPS, to level up your perception first as you level. You can use sites like questlog.gg to plan out your builds and what different items are in the game, but for now, the item names in the database are sometimes completely different to the ones in the Amazon version of this game, so it can be a little confusing if you're following someone else's build, so keep that in mind. Next, let's talk about the dynamic events. They happen throughout the day and they have these codex objectives that get pretty good XP, but the problem is these events last around half an hour. So on the hour, it takes about 5 minutes for the event to start, and then you have about 20 minutes for the event duration. Usually at launch, you're only going to have 1 or 2 events open for you to do. These are good XP if you focus on doing the exploration codex for that event, but that is a one-time XP bonus, and if you have far surpassed the level limit of the event, it is not going to be impactful if you want to level quickly. However, if you're leveling and you see an event go active that is around where you are in level, first make sure to see what kind of event it is. Peace means PvE, conflict means it's a free-for-all PvP, Dominion means randomly placed team PvP, and Guild means GVG style PvP. If you're doing peacetime events, you want to pull as many monsters as you can and then clear them using AoE skills. This is more efficient than clearing them one by one. If you do any of these events, always check the codex and what objectives you need to focus on to get the rewards. Next, let's talk about something I don't really hear much about, and that is character names and character appearance. The character creation in this game by default is on near max settings graphically, so sometimes you have a situation where you make a character and then the game starts and you realize in the natural lighting the character you made looks a bit off. Maybe like a clown, and that's unfortunate. It costs 250 Lucent to change your appearance, which is around $5. The battle pass currently sells for 500 Lucent or $10 and includes a character appearance change voucher, so that's something to keep in mind. You can create up to 2 characters per region, so in EU you can have 2 characters on any server, on NA West another 2, and NA East another 2, and so on. If however you want to delete a character and that character had a name on it, it looks like that name is locked forever, or at least a very long time. I have tried to check how long a name is locked for, 3 days so far, and it still tells me it is unavailable. You should also know names are all globally unique, so if I named my character Anders on EU, I can't use that name on a North America East character or even a North America West character. Lastly, I want to leave you with the most important piece of advice I think I can give you starting this game at launch, and that is to make sure to choose the right server and the right region. North American players are going to have 2 choices, NA West and NA East. Matchmaking for content will take players from all servers within each region, so NA West will have a smaller player pool to work with when you're running dungeons or queuing up for PvP. Not only that, NA West servers are less likely to offer quality guild versus guild PvP because of that smaller population. This game works in that if there's not enough dedicated PvP guilds at the end game, what ends up happening is one alliance dominates the server, and long term that server struggles. This can happen to any server, but it is way too early for servers to have that problem, and NA West I think has this problem. For that reason, I recommend playing on NA East if you can. If you're on NA West and decide to server transfer, you should know that you can only transfer within your own region, so EU servers, for example, can only go to other EU servers, at least for now. You can't change regions. The game releases on Tuesday at 10 a.m. There are a lot of players who are going to be trying it out. Be aware and understand that level 50 is just the beginning. You don't need to rush it. It's not that important. There is absolutely going to be server issues. That is part of the MMO launch experience, unfortunately. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I will be playing Throne and Liberty on NA East launch servers on Tuesday. I like the game a lot. I think it has potential, to be honest. I will be covering more news regarding the game on the channel, including releasing dungeon and class guides. And if you like this video, sub, like, share, and let me know what you think about the game. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.